I think the direction is very clear. The direction is a revolutionary one, because the Islamic Republic cannot solve the problems of various social groups in Iran.
You know, I appreciate when someone like yourself, an academic, comes on and gives us a long view, a macro view, zooms out, if you will, because my question was, how do you feel? How would you characterize the uprising 5.5 months in? It almost intimates the suggestion that we see it the way a lot of folks do see this, which is almost like day trading. Like, how are we doing today? Is the revolution still happening? Is it better or worse than it was yesterday? And should I suppose, based on what you're saying, that you see this as a continuum and that we shouldn't get caught up in whether this week there's enough people on the streets or somebody's been executed, but basically this is going in one direction?
Yes, I think the direction is very clear. The direction is a revolutionary one, because the Islamic Republic cannot solve the problems of various social groups in Iran. We've seen thousands of protests over the last few years. In 2021 and 2022, we had 4,000 protests, respectively, from a variety of social groups. So there is no answers, no policy answers from the regime. So there is a stark disconnect from, between state and society. And to your question, revolutionary processes are also characterized by periods of relative calm and relative uproar. So mid-September till mid-November, we had a lot of street protests. We had a relative, reduction of number of street protests since between mid-November and the end of last year. And this year, we have very, very few, almost zero street protests. But this is also due to a combination of repression, but also of the seasonal winter. And I believe that we're going to see a reemergence of street protests because, as you know, the economic situation is very bad. We have a historical, loss of value of the national currency. We have more than 50% inflation. And as we know from both the Day and the Aban protests, protests driven by socioeconomic grievances can turn, political very swiftly. So I expect this process to continue.